The deafening crash shook Judge Judy's courtroom like an explosion. A 380-pound woman had just slammed onto the courtroom floor so hard that the bailiff instinctively looked around to see if part of the building had collapsed. Karen Denise Patterson lay sprawled across the tile, her expensive designer purse ripped open, makeup and receipts scattered everywhere like debris from a disaster. Her face twisted in shock as paramedics rushed toward her. But this wasn't a medical emergency. This was the exact moment reality finally crushed years of arrogance, entitlement, and manipulation. And what Judge Judy had just revealed moments earlier would become one of the most viral courtroom humiliations in television history. The clip would explode across the internet, earning more than 50 million shares worldwide. Because Karen Patterson had walked into that courtroom believing she was untouchable. She thought she had all the power. She thought money could buy victory. And most importantly, she thought the man sitting beside her was a real lawyer. She was wrong about all of it. Only 20 minutes earlier, Karen had entered the courtroom overflowing with confidence, marching in beside a sharp-dressed attorney she believed would completely destroy her former personal trainer in front of national television. She had spent thousands of dollars preparing for this moment. What she didn't know was that Judge Judy had already spent the entire morning making phone calls to the California State Bar, police departments, and fraud investigators. And hidden inside the folder sitting on Judge Judy's desk was evidence so devastating that it would expose one of the boldest fake lawyer scams ever uncovered in a courtroom. Before we reveal what Judge Judy discovered, before you see the exact moment Karen's world collapsed, hit that like button and subscribe, because this isn't just another courtroom case. This is what happens when entitled people believe they're smarter than the system. This is what happens when fraud, arrogance, and karma collide in front of millions of viewers. And trust me, the final reveal is something you will never forget. Karen Denise Patterson had spent nearly 5 decades mastering the art of intimidation. At 380 pounds, she used her overwhelming presence like a weapon. She dominated conversations, bullied employees, screamed at store managers, and treated service workers like they existed beneath her. She was the type of person who parked her SUV across multiple parking spaces simply because nobody dared confront her. Former coworkers described her as controlling, abusive, and impossible to satisfy. But in Karen's mind, she wasn't difficult. She believed everyone else was simply incompetent. When she hired Miguel Santos as her personal trainer 6 months earlier, she treated him less like a professional and more like hired help. And the problems started immediately. Karen constantly arrived late, sometimes 30 to 40 minutes behind schedule, yet still demanded full sessions. She ignored Miguel's exercise instructions, mocked his professionalisms, spent workouts yelling on her phone, and whenever Miguel tried correcting her form, she snapped back aggressively. But eventually, things became much worse. Karen began making rude comments about Miguel's background and accent. Despite him being born in Los Angeles, she crossed personal boundaries during sessions, touching him inappropriately and making him visibly uncomfortable. And after 6 training sessions, she stopped paying him completely. Miguel tried handling the situation professionally. He sent invoices, offered payment plans, even attempted to peacefully end their business relationship. Karen responded with harassment. She showed up at his home screaming accusations, called his clients trying to destroy his reputation. And after Miguel posted a vague social media message about setting boundaries with difficult clients, Karen became furious. She convinced herself the post was about her, and that's when she hired attorney Derek Williamson. At least, that's the name printed on his business cards. Derek looked convincing: expensive suits, professional website, fancy office building, legal vocabulary, confident attitude. Most importantly, he told Karen exactly what she wanted to hear. He promised she had an unbeatable case, promised Judge Judy would side with her, promised Miguel would be humiliated publicly. Over 6 months, Karen paid him more than $12,000, and every dollar pushed her deeper into the scam. By the time Karen walked into Judge Judy's courtroom, she felt unstoppable. Miguel sat quietly alone with nothing but paperwork and evidence. Karen smirked confidently. She thought victory was guaranteed. What she didn't realize was that Judge Judy already knew her lawyer was a fraud. The moment proceedings began, Karen immediately started performing for the cameras. Instead of calmly explaining the situation, she launched into dramatic accusations. Insulting Miguel while pretending to be the victim, Judge Judy listened carefully. Then Karen made a fatal mistake. She sighed loudly and spoke to Judge Judy with open disrespect. The courtroom instantly froze. Judge Judy slowly leaned forward. "Did you just sigh at me in my courtroom?" The silence became unbearable, but Karen still believed Derek would save her. What she didn't notice was Judge Judy had completely shifted her attention toward the so-called attorney sitting beside her. And then came the question that changed everything. "Mr. Williamson, where did you attend law school?" Derek answered confidently, but Judge Judy kept asking questions. "Which states are you licensed in? What year did you pass the bar? Why didn't you file basic legal motions in this case?" And suddenly, the confident lawyer began falling apart. Sweat formed across his forehead, his hands shook, his answers became confused and inconsistent. Karen finally started looking nervous. Then Judge Judy opened the folder and destroyed both of them. "Mr. Derek Williamson," she said calmly. "Or should I say, Derek Johnson?" The courtroom gasped. Karen turned toward him in horror. Judge Judy continued. "This man is not a licensed attorney in any state in America." The entire courtroom exploded with shock. Judge Judy revealed that Derek Johnson had never graduated law school. In fact, he had applied twice and been rejected both times. He had once worked as a paralegal before being fired for forging legal signatures and pretending to be a lawyer. After losing his job, he built an entire fake law practice using fake credentials, fake reviews, stock photos, and fabricated legal experience. And Karen had paid him $12,000. Judge Judy revealed there were already multiple fraud investigations against him. The bailiff immediately moved in. As Derek was handcuffed in front of everyone, his fake confident personality completely disappeared. He started begging, apologizing, panicking. Meanwhile, Karen sat frozen in total disbelief. Everything she believed about her case collapsed in seconds. Her lawyer was fake. Her lawsuit was destroyed. Her reputation was shattered on national television. And then Judge Judy delivered the final blow. "Ms. Patterson, your case is dismissed immediately." Karen looked completely broken. Judge Judy warned that prosecutors would now investigate whether Karen knowingly participated in fraud herself. Miguel Santos was informed he could countersue her for harassment and emotional damages. The humiliation became unbearable. Karen attempted to stand. Her legs buckled. And then she collapsed. The impact echoed through the courtroom like thunder. Her purse exploded open. Receipts flew everywhere, including receipts showing every payment she had made to the fake lawyer who ruined her life. Paramedics rushed in as Karen sobbed uncontrollably on the floor, not from physical pain, but from the crushing realization that her arrogance had destroyed everything. Within hours, the footage went viral worldwide. News stations covered the story. Legal experts reacted online. Millions mocked the fake attorney scandal. Eventually, investigators discovered Derek had scammed at least 9 other victims, stealing over $87,000 total. He was sentenced to prison. Karen's own life completely unraveled afterward. She lost her job, lost friends, lost her reputation. Meanwhile, Miguel Santos gained massive public support and expanded his fitness business successfully. And Judge Judy's courtroom once again proved one unforgettable truth: arrogance and fraud may survive for a while, but eventually justice always catches up.